All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Good morning. Good morning. How are we doing finally on this fine Wednesday? 63 degrees, sunny, little bit of wind, not too bad. Still a little bit still too windy to have the show outside. We'll get there eventually. So finally. I finally got to say 2 points last night. I could barely get it out without laughing. I tried twice. I couldn't get it out without laughing last night. But we'll take it. Sometimes you need a little bit of puck luck to get off the schneid. We certainly were not getting any puck luck during the losing streak. So I'm not going to complain about how that sucker went in last night. Feel bad for Boston, though. They worked hard, man. 3 goals in the third period. I think you expect to at least get a point out of that game if you're them. But sometimes the cookie crumbles and it falls on the floor and the dog gets to it before you can even figure out if there's a chunk left on the floor worth eating. So that's where we are. All right, let's see. Hey, Omega. Chris Wilson fishing. We're good, man. We're good. Kyle is in there singing and humming, so he must be pretty good. Must be nice to sleep till 11:30, take a half-hour shower, empty the hot water heater, and not really have much responsibility the rest of the day. I need to come back as my kid. Craig says, ready for noted ruffian Reinhart to become more active scoring-wise. Yeah, you don't see a lot of Sam Reinhart roughing penalties. And in his defense, come on, man. Some of the calls both ways yesterday. Some of the calls were a little bit skinny. I think the original roughings, the first two, but Reinhart going after his guy. Come on, man. Come on. Some of the calls, a couple of the hooking calls for and against us were kind of weak. Vegas says, I'm doing good. It was a good game between Mammoth and Avalanche. Yeah, I haven't actually had a chance. Hungry says negative 6.8 goals. Yeah, negative 6.8 goals below expected last week. We had no puck luck. Exactly. Castle. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, that's what I needed to. I was busy this morning with something else. I didn't get a chance to look at much of the scores last night. I ended up down the football rabbit hole. So I know the Sharks didn't win. I know the Penguins are in good shape. Senators and Oilers overtime. I knew that. Devils beat the Leafs. That's right. Ducks beat the Preds. Jeez, Dallas, what the hell are you doing? 5-1 to the Jackets? Okay. Kings beat the Blues. And the Mammoth, look at that, in overtime. The Avalanche were due to lose a game, though, right? I mean, what are they? Yeah, and they still haven't lost the regulation. You know, the Avalanche have played 7 games. They've allowed 14 goals. They'll be okay. The Mammoth, obviously, they're on a little bit of a streak. They look halfway decent. And Dallas, Dallas will straighten it out. You know what I mean? The Preds don't look much improved. And Calgary still, but they haven't played. What are the games today? 3 games. Wild versus the Devils, Red Wings, Sabres, and Canadians and the Flames. So I suspect Montreal will be getting 2 points tonight. Let's see here. Hey, Richie. Vincent says, are you kidding me? That's how they gave Verhaeghe a goal. But remember last year, Vincent, like for the first almost 2/3 of the season, that's all Verhaeghe would do was hit the post, hit the crossbar, just missed, couldn't finish. And it took some stupid, I forget what goal it was, but I remember it being, it might have been an empty net or some stupid deflection off of his skate that kind of got him going a little bit. So we'll take it, man. We'll take it this early in the season. But the old Swaggy would have buried that puck. The old Swaggy doesn't single Swaggy. Before Verhaeghe got married, that puck is in the back of the net 95% of the time. So we'll still blame his wife. Dylan says, I'm convinced the timekeeper slammed on the keyboard or something when Verhage scored out of rage. That's true. That was wild, man. It's like they were like, no, there's 3 minutes left. We still got 3 minutes to try to come back. I don't know what game you guys were watching, and they couldn't fix it. Hey, David, how you doing? Yeah, Utah looks decent. Um, so it says basically every good team in the East has collapsed to start the season. It's way closer through 8 games than you would have expected. Yeah, I'll share the page. What the hell? Because the standings are not what, in some ways they're a little bit what you would expect, but not as much as you would expect. Oh, come on. So come over here to the Wings and Canadians tied at 10 points. Panthers are there at 8. Maple Leafs at 7. Bruins 6, Sens 5. Sabres are light. The one that I really obviously would not have expected was Tampa Bay. This doesn't shock me a ton, but I didn't think the Wings, I didn't pick did I pick the Wings to make the playoffs? I don't remember. No, I did not. I picked Ottawa. I picked all the same teams in the East to make the playoffs. What the hell happened to my? Oh, okay, here we go. Hungry said it's so good over there that Stolarz called out his defense on Monday and they allowed 5 last night. Jeez. Yeah, Richie, a lot of different teams are looking halfway decent. Yeah, better than hitting a beer stands, right? Hey, Kenneth, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, the Wings, I didn't expect the Wings to be this good. I wasn't sure, but, it's early. You know what I mean? Deadly Flames, this poor guy. I'm over it. Flames losing so much, I quit watching the Flames. Oh, sorry, man. You just got 12 goals in 7 games. What the hell's going on? And we've talked about this. Wolf's numbers are just, what is going on there? Yeah, Hungry, there was 265 left. Zach says, it feels tough for Andrew Peak. He's a good kid. I play hockey with his father. Would have preferred literally any other Bruin to kick that one in for us. Yeah, there was nothing he could do, right? There's only so many things you can watch out for when you're on the ice. And, a perfectly diagonally rebound shot off of the post that hits the back of your skate. You know what I mean? There's nothing you could do. Yeah, they played the Uno reverse clock card. But Marie's trying to grow a stash? I didn't see that. Oh, look at how Stolarz is doing. Hold on a second. I'll bring it back. Hold on. I should just keep something shared here. Let's see. We'll come over here and then I'll look at. Let's find Stolarz. I think he's been doing okay. I think he's been, he was out for 5 minutes there. No, that was Wool. That's right. Come on, Paige. Stolarz is 301 at 894. So it's not fantastic. What's his game logs? So he's had one really good game here against the Rangers, and another good game against Montreal, and then yikes. So this was 3 goals on 15 shots. This was 4 on 33. This was 4 on 28, 4 on 34. Yee. Ooh, that's less than pleasant. Yeah, so All right, I think I'm back. Jeez, what the hell was that? No, I think it's my laptop. So I got to what the hell? What's going on with my now I'm a little I actually subbed only for the dogs. I'm not sharing anything, so why is my hold on a second. There we go. Okay. I know Vincent wants to see me full size. I don't know what that was. I think something's going on with my laptop, so I got to take a look because my other laptop in that room, it keeps getting booted from the Wi-Fi. Now this one's been fine. I haven't had any problems. But that was weird. I got booted from the Ethernet and sent to the Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi in here is crap. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. We'll just blame Kyle. This is the one that Kyle ripped out the Ethernet port. And I got to wait to make my first million before I can get the damn thing repaired. All right, let's try this again. Hey, Silva. Miserable Sabres fan says Sabres need to beat the Wings today. I mean, I actually wouldn't mind. That, to be honest with you. Great White says it's cold in Maryland, but I didn't know it was frozen. Oh, that's Kyle outside. Everything's going on out here today. Jeez. It's nice. And we got a nice fall working here. Like the next 8 days in a row, it's like high of 62, low of 45. Perfectly, little bit of breeze, little bit of light clouds. It's beautiful, which is good because the Panthers schedule coming up, I don't know how that's going to go for us. One wild and crazy guy says it's rare that a difference of opinion triggers me, but I was triggered by your comments that the playoffs were pointless without Barkov. That's fair. That's fair. I'll talk about that for a second. So what I mean when I say that pointless is not necessarily the word I should have used, but I don't really feel like this version of the team, even with Tkachuk, I don't know if this is a team that's going to win the cup without Barkov. I don't know. Certainly there's some holes that we have that we would need to the playoff to have a playoff line of Rodriguez, Boquist, Samoskevich. When teams get physical, it's not going to work. Samoskevich needs to be in the top 6, protected by some gritty guys, and you're not. So what I meant when I said that is that I would rather them miss the playoffs and everybody gets rest and ready and reloaded for another couple of runs. I would rather that happen than throw away assets to try to bring in a guy and then go on like a two round run and lose. And then next year, the gradual decline continues. So maybe I shouldn't have used the word pointless. But in my defense, if you guys haven't noticed, I've been crossing my arms a lot during the recaps. And I pinched a nerve in my back on the first recap, the first win of the year against Chicago. When I did when I did the clapping and then I did the punch. Well, when I did the punch, I pinched a nerve in my back here. And when I'm standing there talking loudly, the whole time I'm getting stabbed in the back. So that's why you've been seeing a lot of times where I'm like awkwardly just like trying to cross my arms and I can't figure out which way I want to put them. So by that point in the recap, man, I was standing there and so much freaking it's nerve pain. It's totally random. There's nothing I can do about it. So I get what you're saying. Maybe pointless wasn't the right word to use, but if they're not going to win again, I would rather them just take a break, go rest, go have a full off season, let these guys heal because, nobody looks like themselves at this point, right? I mean, Forsling doesn't look right. Bennett, kind of a little bit. Reinhardt, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'd love nothing more for them to make it. and go deep at the same time. But I just think without Barkov, the structure of this team, and I don't think going and getting Crosby is the answer, even if we could. I don't think there is an answer. Kenneth says Jaws is willing to sacrifice the three-peat for a few more cups if things go south this year. Right. Yeah, I'd rather just have a down year and then come back, everybody rested, stronger, and mentally too. You know what I mean? And part of that is not wanting to just completely burn out Marchand. We need Chucky back desperately, because right now the role of Tkachuk is being played by Marchand. And while I appreciate the energy he brings and the effort and everything like that, it's like, can he sustain that over a whole season and a whole playoff run? Looking back at it, I don't know if we win that cup without Marchand. I mean, there were a lot of nights when the Marchand, Lundell, Luostarinen line was the best line on the ice. So, I get what you're saying, though. Hey, Fisherman Islanders, I'm happy with Matthew Schaefer putting with the goals he's been getting. Yeah, the Islanders aren't really. You guys got a little bit of time. Hey, IDK. So Bill says Chris Chelio said on the Empty Netters podcast that he expects Barkov back max 6 months. And now he can't come back in the regular season. That we can't do because of the cap. We still have the same exact issues we would have had regardless of, you know what I mean? He can't come back with a month left to go in the season to get himself ready because we will be over the cap. So either he's going to be back around the trade deadline, which sounds pretty much impossible, and we're going to have to make whatever moves we would have to make to bring him back, or he can't come back until the playoffs. I like to win says, I agree. We're not going deep this year without Barkov. Hopefully he comes back. Vincent says that's a dangerous game to play. They have to push as long as there's a team. If you start calculating options in the abstract, it's not sport, not passion. I understand. Look, I see both sides of it. I understand what I was trying to say, and I understand people not being thrilled with how I said it, and that's fine. I'm on camera 6 hours a day, and I'm not going to – not everything I say is going to be accurate. You know what I mean? That's how I felt in the moment. Keep in mind, if they don't make the playoffs, that affects my income. So I'm throwing myself under the bus as well. You know what I mean? I'd rather see, I'd rather see how they can do with a full roster. But if Barkov comes back, then Barkov comes back and everything is fine. Lil G says, no, we are very lucky at Pittsburgh win against Chicago in 23, and this never happens, right? Right, yeah, Vincent. Yeah, it's a good thing he didn't touch the puck. Right, because his stick he went over the net with his stick. Frost says we won't hear the end of it if we don't make the playoffs. All right. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. Hey, Universal Habs. Vincent says Petrie is not. Ekblad is Ekblad. Forsling is somewhere with Reinhart and Bennett. Seth Jones apparently has the worst stat in the league in goals against when being on the ice. Huh. Yeah, a lot of avoidable mistakes. I'll agree with IDK there. But what David say? David says, come on, guys, we're 7 games in. We're not quit on the cast just yet. I know. I don't want it to sound like I'm quitting. I'm just trying to be realistic. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to be. I'm not even saying that as a fan, to be honest with you. I'm trying to look at it objectively and see what's going on the ice. And a third line, Rodriguez, Boquist, Samoskevich are not going to be able to get out of their own zone with the puck if we play in the playoffs with that line. Samoskevich needs open space. He can create, but against the boards and when you pressure him or you pressure Boquist, it's kind of a disaster. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at, is that we kind of need to be able to, if you can go Lundell, Lusterine, Marchand, Bennett, Tkachuk, Samoskevich, and that leaves Reinhart, Verhaeghe with Rodriguez. If you can upgrade over Rodriguez, and you're going to need a big, strong guy. If you can upgrade over Rodriguez, which we hate to move Rodriguez, right? So, I don't know. Is what it is. Would I try Sabrango and Bournefoot one game? I would definitely try Sabrango. Yeah. Oh, Lil J. Benning. That's a name I forgot about, Lil J. Yeah. Yeah. That's a name I forgot about. At this point, I mean, Balinskis has been not good. Like, it's weird because, like I said last night, when he's defending the puck carrier, he's actually been playing well. I think he's been better than Petrie defending-wise. But every time he gets the puck on his stick, he's just putting the puck in the middle of the ice. I must have screamed 3 times last night. He did it again. He did it again. David says this is not the playoff lineup. Add Chucky and things change greatly. Sure. But we would still need, if Barkov's not coming back, maybe I'll put it this way. If Barkov's not coming back, I don't think we're going to win a cup with Rodriguez at 3C and Boquist on that wing. I just don't see it. We can play well and compete, but the difference of having such a, because now you got Lundell, Lusterine, and Marchand at the top. You know what I mean? Theoretically, I know they're trying to say Bennett's 1C, but who are we fooling? Lundell is 1C. Marchand's the best winger on the team right now. It's not close. And Kulikov is missed. Yeah, that's true. Vincent says both Bennett and Ryan lines are dysfunctional. If we're learning something about pairs in this lineup, we need to get back to Bennett, Samoskevich, Erod, Rhino combinations. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. Hey, thank you, Zach. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, bud. Much appreciated. He says, just want to thank you for your great content. Usually don't do this, but shout out to Panthers Warriors organization for veterans if you're near and want to play hockey. Hey, that sounds like something. Zach, email me. The email is flyingfluffyhockey@gmail.com. Maybe we could talk a little bit, and I'll do a video on that. I'll be honest, I didn't know it existed. Stefossi says, call me crazy, but I think the Kulikov injury is as big a loss as Barkov. I mean, I don't know. It's for the bottom pair it is. We'll put it that way. Kulikov is definitely the Barkov of the bottom pair. Well, I'll give you that. Strafas, yeah, we have Nosek coming back too. Cunnin was good. I wouldn't mind bringing up a guy here, a guy there, just to kind of see what the situation is. Maybe we got lightning in a bottle with one of these kids. I don't know. I don't think Maurice is going to make any changes. So if the team feels Barkov's going to come back, they're going to leave the roster the way it is. But I don't disagree with what Vincent is saying, is that, so if you're saying, so Samoskevich, so Bennett, Samoskevich, Verhaeghe, and then Erod, Reinhart, and I guess that would be Boquist, right? Ruthless Sharky, man, come on, bro. I feel bad for you guys. It's bad. What is it, 7 games now for the Sharks? How many games? 6. It's only 6. It's only 6. I mean, there's worse teams, man. At least you guys have 16 goals in 6 games. The Flames have 12 goals in 7 games. Holy crap. Yeah, Strafasi, Cooley saved game 7. Yeah. Kenneth says it might not be Lightning and Leafs Canes to the Cup this year either. It might be Wings, Habs, Devils. That's a very good point, Kenneth. Hey, Goat Slayer. Yeah, Goat Slayer, that one falls under the category of we'll take it, right? So David says, I'm just going to say that we haven't addressed the biggest issue. We're not playing tough enough. I know regular season, not playoffs, but we need more of an edge. Other than Marchie, we seem not as fired up as we should be. And that's where Kachuk will help out. You know what I mean? Kachuk's going to help a little bit with that. Please, what do we have to do? Can we take up a collection that somehow, some way, we can kidnap Sam Bennett and get it through his bald skull that he's not Nathan McKinnon and he's not going to split the defense and put the puck in the back of the net? Put it behind. Go get it, Sam. Every year. But then the thing is, he does it in the playoffs and it works. So what's that all about? When he does it in the regular season, it don't work. The face-off percentages, Strafasi. Yeah, I've been looking at that pretty much on a daily basis. Let's see what we got here. So Lundell was at 60%, and he is at 56% now. So he must have had a bad night last night to lose 4 percentage points in one night, even though it's early in the season. Cunnin. We haven't looked at Cunnin in a couple of minutes. Cunning's face-off percentage is 46-ish, 45.5. That's what you're going to get out of Cunnin. Looking at his history, that's what you're going to get. Where's Bennett? Bennett's probably awful, right? He had gotten up to like 45%, and he is at 48%. So that's not okay. So Bennett is actually improving. Boy, his shot percentage is at 5.6. So that has something to do. And Rodriguez. Let's check out Rodriguez. Rodriguez is at 41%, 40.8%. That's what I mean. At 3C, that's the one hole. If Barkov doesn't come back, I hate to say it. But if you want a chance to win the cup and Barkov isn't coming back, you're going to have to go out and get probably 2 things, to be honest with you. You're probably going to have to go get another center to fill in for Rodriguez. Maybe you just leave Rodriguez on that line as a winger to try to get the goals, right? Maybe that's what you can do, and then you just sit Boquist. But remember, if Barkov doesn't come back, and then we don't have cap issues. I mean, we could always go get somebody really good. We know that Bill Zito's not afraid to make a trade for somebody with term, right? Because he did it with Seth Jones. Now, we'd have cap issues next year, though, if we did that. If we did it with, somebody that had term, because you gotta re-sign Bobrovsky too. All right. Hungry says Kulikov really needs to stop doing that move where he tries to grab a guy that got past him. That's how he got injured this and last season. So Jameson, the timeline that Zito gave us about Nosek was at least several months. When I've said it before, when I watched how Zito was talking about Nosek, I got the distinct impression that being out for the entire season wasn't out of the question. He's no youngster, and it didn't sound good at all. Hey, Fatality. Vincent says, why do you keep saying if Barkov's not coming back? If he's back, it's a game. If he's not, Zito will bring a center in regardless of the price. We're too deep in this, or rather too high to be slowing down. What I'm getting at, Vincent, with all of that is cap situation. Now, the point being is you have to know if Barkov's coming back before the trade deadline. You know what I mean? And then we've looked at the guys that are out there, and I mean, I suppose, I don't know. I understand what you're saying, Vincent. I do understand what you're saying. Yeah, the passing, IDK, I think line chemistry. Did you notice there's no real problem with the chemistry between Lundell, Lusterin, and a Marchand, right? Great White's got the right attitude. Maybe this will be the start of a winning streak for the Panthers. Longer says we're 8 games into the season. We can't play overly physical for 82 games and make deep playoff run. Right. So David says, got to remember the worst player in the NHL is still world class. It's almost always comes down to playing with more passion than the other team. And that's accurate. That's kind of what I've said about Montreal and Detroit. These teams that are young and have the fire and the energy, they play us. And if we don't have the desire to match their energy, it's going to be a long night. You know what I mean? Vitality says if the Lightning are struggling this, he says if Lightning are struggling this, we can jump on them early tomorrow between the Blackhawks and the Lightning. Yeah. Let's look at the games that are being played. Let's see. We know we only got a few games today. Damn, Blackhawks and Lightning tomorrow. Lightning have been not good. Vasilevsky has not been good. Penguins and the Panthers are playing. The Penguins have won several in a row now, right? What's that? 3 in a row. They're 5-2. Let me see. If the playoffs started today, hey, we're back in the playoffs if the playoffs started today. So that's good. Who's out? Who would be out? Are the Leafs out? No. Wait. 1, 2, 3. No, the Leafs would. Wait a minute. Yeah, no, if the playoffs started today, the Leafs would be out. That's good. That's good. That's always nice to know. Goat Slayer says it works in the playoffs because the D doesn't believe he's actually going to try to split them because of how much he gets shut down in the regular season, and then they're taking it back when he does split them. You might have a point there, Goat Slayer. Serfashi says, put Reinhardt at center. Well, the second goal, the first of the second goal that we gave up last night was Reinhardt in the defensive zone in the faceoff circle. He lost the draw. Puck was in the back of the net. So I don't know what his faceoff percentage is right now. Come on. But I heard years ago when he first came here, he doesn't like to play center. And his faceoff percentage it's 32%. Right? His faceoff percentage right now is 32%. He's had better years. Last year was 41. This year's 44. He doesn't show me how many faceoffs he's taking. I don't know if necessarily that's one thing we could try. Kenneth says Lundell was 6-18 in draws last night. Yeah, that's not good. David says, as much as I hate to say it, let Sasha have the whole year. His future is more important than a third cup in a row. Well, I don't know. We'll see what the stem cell treatments do, right? Hey, True, how you doing, bud? Yeah, Nosek is out indefinitely, right? Richie says by the time Barkov comes back, I'm afraid it's too late to make the trade. Well, yeah, they have to make the decision about Barkov before the trade deadline, or they could just simply say we're gonna hope that he comes back second round, third round, and not make any changes. Or, well, no, theoretically, you could leave him on the IR where he's possibly going to come back, go out and get a player and spend that 3.8 million, and then if Barkov comes back, bench that player. Theoretically, you could do it because the roster doesn't have to be under the cap in the playoffs, just the game day lineups. Whether or not a player would actually want to get traded to yeah, they would for a chance to win the cup, sure. Hungry says, plus, what do we have to trade that won't impact the first team and other teams? I'm kind of tired of giving up assets. That's another part to it, Hungry, for sure. Jamiskevich is an instant no. You just click. You don't even accept that call. Teams will probably be interested in maybe Devine, Sachin, St. Martin, right? But we have a decent stable of guys, but it's not like we're overflowing. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know how many more moves we really want to be making. Hey, communist. Yeah, we won a game. Exactly. So Richie says we're going to be behind in points. Now, the interesting part to it is it all depends. So if we concede Red Wings, Canadians, let's in the Atlantic, forget about everything else. Forget about everything else. If we concede Canadians, Red Wings, whatever, 1-2, how in whatever order, realistically speaking, right now, the way it looks, the only team that we would be battling for position for the third spot in the division is Toronto. The Bruins aren't quite there. Ottawa is a mess. The Sabres are not there. And Tampa Bay is an absolute mess right now. Now, Tampa could, at some point, right, get there. But I think because of Toronto's struggles and Tampa's struggles, I think even if we stay at about 500-ish, I don't feel like we'll get so far behind that third spot that when Tkachuk comes back, we won't be able to get up there. So forget about the wild card, because in that sense, you're going to be over in the Metro. The Penguins are looking decent. The Capitals could make it. Don't completely discount the Rangers because of Shesterkin. So to me, rather than looking at the wild card, I'm looking at the third spot in the division. I'm conceding 1-2 to Montreal and Detroit, and the Panthers should, unless the wheels fall off and we get more injuries, we should be able to take third place. David says, last year we scooped up Marshy, completely unbelievable at the time, so who knows? Could be almost anyone, and we probably will be someone, just saying. I mean, yeah, you can make the deal, but, well, who's out there? I'll go look. Let's go look and see who's out there. Deadly Flames. Huberdeau, while everyone else can't score. It's bad. I picked Calgary to make the playoffs. A lot of people did. Craig says Reinhardt isn't physical enough to take draws. That's probably part of it, right? Reinhardt's percentage is better than yours. That's true. I could probably get 20%. I'm so short they wouldn't be able to reach me. I could block their stick with my shoulder. She says Reinhardt has that twitching thing with his eye, so he's not the best center. Huh. Oh, yeah, you just had a stem cell treatment. How's your back doing? Vincent, I'm assuming that about the stem cells. I'm assuming, why wouldn't they? That's my assumption. I haven't heard it, but we know that that's what Chucky did. So I'm just assuming that. True says Barkov is ahead of his timeline with healing. He's doing PT already. Vincent says, I'm sure he's ahead since the surgeon is a master and he was walking in public a week after surgery. Right. Lil J says, I would not want to play the Habs or Wings in the first round. I mean, that's probably what we're looking at. We might have to beat both teams. Are we sure that Detroit is sustainable? So the only question about Detroit, in my opinion, and their sustainability is goaltending. Oh, come on. Geez, 2 advertisements. I just want to see the stats. So Talbot's at 178 and 932, and Gibson's at 299 and 873. Figures Gibson will fall apart. So neither one of those guys scream Stanley Cup at this point if Gibson's not going to play well. But in terms of the roster, they've got a decent roster. I think considering there's Ben Sherratt. Give us our first round pick back. Considering how Tampa's playing, now could Detroit go out if they wanted to get a goalie at some point? Maybe if they needed to. But right now, Talbot's playing well. 178 and 932. And you know, they got Gibson. If Gibson fixes himself, they could be decent. One wild and crazy guy says you're making a lot more sense now than yesterday. That's not a criticism. It's hard to be exact when talking. That's why term papers are usually a third or a fourth draft. Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's the recap is a different format. Jeez, that's bright. You know what I mean? Hold on a second. I got to close that. Okay. You know, the recap is an emotional, in-the-moment reaction. You know what I mean? That's what makes them good. That's why people click, because they like to hear the stupid stuff I say, and then they come back and say, that was really stupid, Jaws. But that's okay. Yeah, exactly. True. David says stem cells so 2000. I heard they're using a mixture of unicorn horn ground down mixed with alien DNA. Ruthless Sharky says that's why me and many Sharks fans refuse to watch this team and others struggle. That's why half the arena is empty. And I feel for you. Vincent says Detroit might fade away, but Canadians look stable for a second year, and the Habs are a bad matchup for the Panthers. What we need is Montreal, Detroit, Florida, Toronto. And then our experience beats Detroit. Toronto shocks Montreal, and you guys know the rest of that story. That's our path. That's our path, is to become Leaf fans in the first round against Montreal. Hey, thank you, John. Thank you, Svela. Hot Wing Hut. That sounds good, man. That sounds good. Yeah, Rufus Shark is a great name. Yeah. True says, I just want to be able to go and play roller hockey behind the Panthers facility with the guys and play guitar standing up and maybe begin to run around the stage. Hey, Adonis, we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take the luck all day long. That or just hope Montreal becomes a bad playoff team. Well, I think somebody was telling me that I think Dobish is playing better than Monty right now. Let's see. So Monty is 3.26 and an 8.57, and Dobish is a 1.63 and a 9.39. So Sam Montembeault is kind of reverted to what he's kind of always been. Those numbers are a little bit worse than what he normally is. But Dobish is 3-0 with a 1.63 and a 9.39. So if he can continue that, they've got something. But if not, that's another team like Detroit. Those are the only things about Detroit and Montreal is the goaltending. I like Monty, Vincent. You know what it is, Vincent. I have a kind of a core memory. It's weird, but it's true. The couch that I watched the Panthers lose the first cup on and watched the Marlins win the World Series on, then I remember sitting on that couch right before we got rid of it. And because we watched the Devils, we watched the two double overtime loss to the Devils on it. But I remember sitting on that couch when Monty came in and the crowd chanting Monty, Monty, Monty. For whatever reason, that stuck with me. And then after we lost to the Devils, I think I'd had enough of that couch. That's it. That's it. Deadly Flame says someone's going to throw a Flames jersey on the ice soon. Yeah. Dobish shut out the Panthers last year in his debut. Let's see. Let's go to the game logs from last year. Dobish's first game last year. No. When did he even? Yeah. Yeah, you're correct, Vincent. You are correct. He shut us out 1-0. No, not 1-0. I don't know. Yeah. 34 saves. I don't know how many goals they scored. Yeah, you're right. He shut us out in his debut against us. Good memory. Good memory. Who's the Habs backup? Well, usually it's kind of been Monty 1, Dobish 2, but I think that's flipped now. Kazuma says I'm going to need a lot of gummies and blood pressure medications this season. Hey, Sergey, how you doing, Bubba? Yes, we definitely we look better. But Bubba, we got to talk, though. Bubba, 5-hole goal in the third period. How did the puck get between Forsland's legs and your legs? Why is the paddle not down, Bubba? We've talked about this. We've been talking about this since your first year. Close your legs. Come on, man. What are we doing? True. Kyle saw that. The half Bruins, half Panthers. Yeah. Maybe the Cats pick up Kopitar for the playoffs. Didn't they put him on? Isn't he hurt? Or was that somebody else? Hey, John. Thank you, bud. Thank you, buddy. He says we still need to find core without Barkov and Chucky. Well, certainly without Barkov. Yeah. We'll get there. The third line, it's just such a shame because the third line, Lundell, Marchand, Luosterainen's best third line in the season, in the league. Jesus, Jaws, talk. I'm half reading comments while I'm talking. And that's the best third line in the league. And now it's kind of our first line out of necessity. I don't care what anybody says about Bennett. Waller placed on IR. Good grief. We get Kopitar if the Kings are out at the deadline. Yeah, real. We're gonna have to get used to every game being one-score heart attack. Yeah, thank you, Emperor King. I thought I heard that last night that he was hurt. Yeah. So what free agents are out there? That's okay, Bubba. That's all right. We forgive you. It's okay, man. I haven't seen that in a long time, man. David says, just tossing names out there again. Again, no one saw the Marchand trade coming. We were done. The stream was over. Kyle was closing up the stream, and I was walking into the recap room to recap trade deadline. And he's like, I'm hearing Brad Marchand to Florida. Hab says, each time when people doubt us, we always get better, and I like it. Hey, I didn't doubt you. I got a video on this channel saying I think you guys are going to win the Atlantic. So that's not on me. Yeah, Habs series, Colby, how you doing? The Habs Panther series would be fun. Travashi says we would get swept by the Habs. So we've looked at this before, but I'll do it again. Let's see. Let's see. Let's come over here. We'll share the page, and we'll just look at we'll look at centers because they're all kind of. Let me share the page. I hear something. No. Okay. So this is free agent centers. Next season, if you're looking to trade for somebody that doesn't have term, Nietzsche's, Colorado, but if Pittsburgh's in it, they're not sending anybody out. The Islanders, Anders Lee, Kopitar's hurt, Colorado, Pittsburgh, Utah. Now the Flyers. Zegras, Dvorak, Charlie Coyle in Columbus, Wenberg for San Jose. But is Wenberg really that much of an upgrade? Connor Bedard, now I don't know much about that guy, but we could get him. I'm sure Chicago will give him up for a 2 or something. Pinto in Ottawa. Now that's interesting. What do you guys think about Pinto? What do you guys think about Shane Pinto if Ottawa tanks? Let's see. I mean, I don't know how many draws he's taking, but last year he was at 50%. The year before, 50.6. This year he's almost at 60%. 6'3", 206. So here this is beautiful because the difference in opinions is fantastic. So John says get Pinto. Shafasi says Gina or Pinto I like. Svela, he scores a ton. Oh, you heard that he's on or they're close to a long-term deal. Interesting. And then True says Pinto's garbage. Communist says he has some snarl. Vincent says, no way, they're trading Pinto. Hey, thank you, Zach. Thank you, buddy. Much appreciated, bud. He says, you can only imagine the combos I had in real time with Bruins diehards fans as the Marchand trade broke. Yeah, I can't. That must have been a hell of a day for you. And Vincent says, no way, they're trading Pinto. Yeah, but now, I'm just going by the names, right? Yeah, we already had Wenberg, right? Real says, I will not accept anything less other than a lineup Brady Kachuk, Sidney Crosby, and Tom Wilson. Good Lord. Give us the cup. So past that, I'm trying to stay away from teams that are like Utah's building. Boone Jenner in Columbus. Winnipeg, if they crashed out, they've got some guys. Maybe. Who's this guy? Adam Henrique. I remember him from something. Can somebody remind me? But that's Edmonton. Edmonton's going to be in the mix. They're not getting rid of him, right? And then you're so far down the list here, right? Cole Cylinder. I mean, you're down the list. Now, if you go to just forwards instead of just centers, so we know about Panarin. That's not going anywhere. Ovechkin, Kane, Robertson. I mean, Kevin Hayes. Does he bring you anything? If you're looking for like some extra goals, I mean, Zegras in Philadelphia again, but the Flyers are trying to build Jaden Schwartz in Seattle, Kempe, Dvorak. There's Coyle. There's Tarasenko. We could go get Tarasenko again. Bunting. Mason Marchment's a free agent. You guys want 4 extra penalty minutes a game? Marchment could possibly fit a little bit. Now, Kopitar is hurt, though, John, as far as we know. David says, is Kane with the Red Wings? If they fade, he could help us. I think so. I think I remember looking at yeah, and he's already hurt. I put it in, and he's out for 2 games with an injury. So there you go. There you go. He's already hurt. Henry's a smaller version of Hyman. So I mean, there's some guys out there, but I think the main thing that we would need more than anything if Barkov doesn't come back is face-offs, right? Great White says, Jaws, I got word that Maurice put an air tag in my truck. Is that because they want to stop me and thank me for all my service? They want to thank me for all the advice over the years, even though most of the advice is what they know what not to do, right? Hockey Day says, okay, Petrie for Marchment and have Marchand and Marchment. Yeah. I would make that trade, actually. I mean, Marchment has his flaws, but he can also be of a benefit sometimes. Maurice has more hair than me? No. If I grow my hair out, I got more hair than Maurice. Yeah. Not by much. Not by much. You know what I mean? I can go back. I got enough here to go back with it. But forget about all of this. And it's this is so much easier. I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, Lundell and Marchand and Marchment. Right? I can't grow hair, don't lie. I just shave it off of my arms, Vincent. I just pluck it out of my arms and glue it onto my head. Wonder if the Flames would tank for McKenna. Calgary's not going to tank, and I'm not saying that to belittle your point. It's just they've been slowly step stooling and building. What is going on with Wolf? I mean, like, is it too much pressure for this kid? I mean, he's been awful, and they can't score. Kazuma says Panthers are number 1 spot for front office, according to The Athletic. Yeah. Was that a new one? Because I remember last year. Is that a new ranking, Kazuma? I think I remember reading one last year. We were number 2. I forget who was number 1. Maybe my memory's off there a little bit. My subscription ran out because I'm already, okay, thank you, Kazuma. Yeah. I'm already paying, $3, $5, $7, $10 a month for so many damn different little services that I just let those go. I let ESPN Plus is $14 a month. The YouTube TV is like $90 a month. But at least we got good internet now, right? I might be paying. I can't believe that this internet is cheaper than the crappy stuff I was paying for before. So very grateful that way. So, all right. So as Great White asked yesterday, Great White requested it. It's a good idea. We're gonna do a 2-minute warning, so the stream will be ending within 2 to 5 minutes here. That way, because Great White at the end of the stream yesterday, I want to thank you again, brother. Right after the stream ended, Great White super chatted $100, and so apparently sometimes when you guys super chat, it takes like an extra minute for it to hit. So maybe somebody super chats. It's happened before, and then I close up the stream, and then the super chat comes in after the stream is over. So I wanted to make sure I made mention of that. Great White is keeping Kyle fed. That's for sure. I can't buy Kyle any more ice cream though, because he ate all the Donnas. Donna went to the store and bought Kyle ice cream and us ice cream, and then Kyle ate all of his ice cream and then ate Donna's ice cream. And Donna went to go get ice cream, and it was what you would expect. It was what you would expect from somebody who went and bought 2 things of ice cream and then went to have hers, and there was none left. It was, and I don't blame her whatsoever. She didn't say anything to Kyle, though. She just said something to me. Vincent says Maurice has longer hair than you could ever grow since the Yager robbery, right? He's mocking me in public. That's okay. That's all right. I have all the money. I'm the rich one. Yager's the poor one. I had to give him my hair because I'm so wealthy that I felt bad for him. And he never gets any women either. I never see the guy with any good young looking women, and I felt bad for him. So I gave him my hair. So that's what happened. All right, everybody. Appreciate all of the support, all the super chats. Really genuinely appreciate you guys. And we're back tomorrow, right? We're back to hockey tomorrow. Noon stream, members only pregame, and then the football picks video will be out tomorrow. I'll have something else out tomorrow too in the morning on the hockey channel. Those videos have been actually doing pretty good, so I'm comfortable. Holy crap! See, there you go. He did it. Thank you, Great White. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. See, if I just keep talking, good things happen. Thank you, Great White. Thank you, my friend. There we go. We'll hang out for another minute or two then. So Vincent, yeah, that's why Yager has the hair. That's why Yager. I feel bad for the dude. You know what I mean? He's had a very boring, uneventful life. Yager has, and he doesn't get a lot of excitement in his life. He's not been able to travel and see the world. He's never dated a model. He doesn't have any money. He doesn't own any records. He's never won the cup. And I just felt bad for him. So I gave him my hair. Deadly Flames, it might get worse for you guys. I hope not. It can't get worse. You guys got 12 goals in 7 games. I don't think it can unless you guys start losing people to injury. Right? You know what I mean? So, all right, everybody. Thank you again, Great White. Thank you, brother. Thank you all very much. And yeah. Okay, Kazuma, here we go. Josh's question, would you love if the NHL did what they do in soccer and have a tournament where the best teams around the world face each other and see who is the best hockey team? Well, I had to think about that. The problem with that, I mean, we did the 4 nations last year, right? So that was a little bit of a taste. The problem is when, you know what I mean? The same thing we had with the Olympics this year. You got to stop everything. The players have to go, then they got to come back. The only issue is when. You know what I mean? That's really the biggest issue. It sounds like it'd be fun, right? But, then you have to make sure things don't get political and everybody can participate. Oh, it takes 3 minutes, Great White. Gotcha. Appreciate that, man. In soccer, they do it at the end of the year, champions of every continent. I think for hockey, though, everybody's body is beat to shit so much. I don't know if they could do it, So, all right, everybody. Gotta run. Appreciate y'all very much. And I shall see you Mañana.